If you're watching this right now, it's probably because you already know that you have multiple personalities. Now, when I'm talking about multiple personalities, I'm not talking about a disorder, because I'm not here to diagnose you or give you problems to think about. Instead, I want to reveal to you how it is, in fact, absolutely true that there are many different yous that are manifested in this time in your life experience. And of course, as always, if you've been watching any of my videos in the past, you know that all of the things that I share on here is really a reflection and a remembrance of the lessons that I have learned, and we're just saving it for the future version of me. Now, let's talk about your multiple personalities. I found out that I indeed had multiple personalities after many years of dealing with my multiple personalities and feeling like I was mad in some way. Like I had to be crazy to be this person and that other person and to want to do all these other many things that I wanted to do. And here's what life has taught me, and which is what I want to share with you today. Hopefully, it will bring you some form of peace, some calmness, a little less overthinking about what you should do, what you should focus on, who you should be, who you want to be, and you just allow yourself to be in this existence. You just allow yourself to be whoever you want to be in this time right now, in this season of your life. Because when you understand that your life is flowing in different phases and different seasons, and there's going to be a different version of you for a particular season, then you sort of begin to really relax and take life easy and begin to have fun with this beautiful game that you have created for yourself. For me, it all began when I began to deal with my identity as a rapper, as a musician, as a performer. And you see, this is the thing with us creatives and artists. We start doing something and then we think that we are the thing. And what life has taught me is the thing is the thing. The thing is what it is. I'm just a vessel expressing that thing in that time. I am not the thing, and I do not have to become the thing or identify myself with the thing. So, case in point in my life, rap. Yeah, people will call you a rapper, you're a musician. But the minute I identified as a musician, it sort of cuts my supply from identifying as anything else, from allowing myself to be anything else. And I am many things. It's impossible not to be all the things that I want to be. And please don't tell me to choose one thing, because hello, I'm not going to choose one thing. I can't. No. And so I realized over time that it was absolutely impossible to choose one thing. Not because it was impossible, but because why? Why do I have to choose? Why can't I do them all? And thankfully, I lived a life that permitted me, or I permitted myself to do them all. And here's what I learned. I learned that every single time that I accepted the call towards a new expression or a new creative art form, I began to become that thing and feel that thing. It was like a brand new entity, a brand new aspect of myself, a brand new personality was unleashed. And so when I'm a makeup artist, I'm in a very beautiful goddess energy mode, being an expressive artist with makeup. When I'm writing poetry, I'm really in my sweet zen, high vibe mode, writing poetry. When I'm writing rap, when I'm being a rapper, I'm a whole different entity. And when I'm doing my online business and being a marketer, that's a whole different beast. And as I observed my life, I realized, well, these were all different people. But the day that it really dawned on me that this was a real thing, that these were really different people, was a season in my life when I was really fighting the dichotomy between myself being an artist as a rapper and myself just wanting to be a writer and create content online and just be this person who was teaching classes and stuff. And there was just a tug of war in my mind. It was like there was two different people. And luckily, I came across a video online from Teal Swan, and you could go check this out on YouTube. It's definitely still there. This video is titled Parts Work, or something around parts work. And this was the first time that I came across the concept of parts work. And so with parts work, the way she explained it, and you might want to go watch this video because I'm going to just run along the concept right here. The idea is that you get yourself into a meditative, communicative space with the many parts of yourself, because there are many parts and aspects of you that want to be expressed through this one avatar, you know. And so when I went through the parts work video from Till Swan, I learned a meditative or communicative process where you could remove those parts of yourself and make them become identities or persons that were sitting down with you in a room. And I did go through this meditative experience. It was powerful. It changed my life completely. And in my meditative experience, I had Elohor, who is the version of myself that is the intellectual. She's the one talking to you right now. Hi, I'm Elohor. Nice to meet you. So Elohor, in my part, is the person who likes to write. She's the one who writes erotic fiction. She writes a lot. She writes fiction. She writes marketing. She is the digital marketer as well. She's the intellectual one, right? And Eva is not here right now. I promise you, life gets easy when you can, separate yourself like that. It's not a disorder, by the way. It's just fun. It's a game. Eva is the part of me that is the performer. She wants to be on stage. She wants to light up the place and bring some fire. She's the one that brings this big energy and everybody just taps into it and they, get lit up from Eva. But Elohor is really the calm, conservative one. Of course, during this parts work experience, I got to communicate with both of them. And the reason that I had to go through this experience doing parts work with myself was because I realized that there was a war in my mind. The version of me that wanted to be this thing was fighting with the version of me that was this other thing. And it was important to talk to them because they were their own individual people. And so what I did was I sat in the room with these two selves and I said, okay, Elohor, you're going to sit on this side of the bed. And this is how Till Swan explains that we do it. And I said, Elohor, you're going to sit on this side of the bed. Eva, you're going to sit on this side of the bed. Okay, now talk to me. What's going on and why are you upset? Because both of you are fighting in my head, right? And I know that it sounds mad, but I promise if you do this and if you try it with yourself, you will come to a new realization of who you really are as spirit, as power moving. And Elohor did say to me that she was upset because we had an agreement long ago when I was a young child, when I was 5, 6, 7, and I had begun to write. We had an agreement that we're going to write books, that we're going to create books, and we're going to, entertain and inform and educate people with our knowledge. And we haven't written any books, and she's pissed because we haven't created anything. And I went through that conversation with Elohor, and she kept on bickering and crying to me and talking about how she felt left behind because Eva had taken center stage. Like Eva had expressed herself in the world. She had released albums. She had become the rapper that she wanted to become. And all the attention was on Eva and she wasn't happy. And so when I took the conversation over to Eva and I said, okay, Eva, because you need to go watch the video by Till Swan, by the way, so that you understand it. And so when I took the conversation to Eva said to me, well, I feel neglected as well because we haven't been doing much of what we said we were going to do and you left me alone for a while. Because to be honest, at the time, I did leave my music alone for a while because I wasn't, really in the spirit of it at the time. I was going through a very depressive time and I've talked about depression a lot on this channel. If you've missed any of those videos, you want to go back and check that. And so I had this conversation with my parts, with the parts of myself, with my many selves. And it dawned on me, and this is the biggest lesson that I took from it. Every time in your life experience, when you think about a potential reality that you could have, a potential existence that you could have, a potential version of you that you could become, it instantaneously becomes. It doesn't become in the future. It becomes the moment you think about it because you've given it form with your energy. And so that version of you exists. If you were 10 years old thinking about becoming a baker, somebody who loved to bake cakes, and now you are working at an office in a big company, you are working in the company, but the version of you who is baking cakes already exists whenever you're ready to tap into that version of you with your energy and with your physical actions, right? And so what I began to learn was every version of me that I ever thought about existed already in potential reality. And there were multiple, alternate realities happening at the same time. This is my belief. I totally believe this. It doesn't have to be true for everybody, but it is true for me. And it has given me so much calm and peace of mind to think about myself in that way, to think about the fact that, wow, all the possibilities exist, and I can decide to put on a new bodysuit and decide to be a completely different person based on the season of my life. But here's where it gets all interesting. It's the fact that no matter what you choose, no matter what you decide to be, no matter who you decide to activate by way of your attention and your awareness, as long as you're doing it with love and with total presence and commitment of your spirit, then you are in the right direction anyway to the expression and the fullest evolution of your soul. So it doesn't matter if you're this person, or if you do that, or if you do this. As long as you are doing it with so much joy in the present moment, then you are truly living. And this is why I like to say, the purpose of my life is to live. The purpose of my life is to live ever so joyfully. So in the seasons of my life, from season to season, whatever version of myself wants to be expressed in that time and wants to be the most joyful expression of myself, then that's the version of myself that I'm going to be. But here is where being logical and knowing that you're living inside this life experience comes into play. Is the fact that the longer you stay on something, the better you get at it. And so consistency is such a key part of this entire experience. At some point, you're going to have to stop bullshitting yourself and get very honest with yourself and say to yourself, self, it's time for us to actually put energy into something and grow something. And growth requires such level of dedication and focus and commitment, right, to the thing at a time for a long time. So when you decide that you're going to grow something, you have to then make that thing your 80%. The 80-20 principle applies in all things. You then have to give that thing your all for a long enough period of time that it grows. But where being a jack of all trades helps you, especially in this next world that we're stepping into, is the fact that when you master different trades, all of these trades and skills come together to become the beautiful combination and unique version of you that cannot be duplicated by anybody else, because nobody else has your unique curiosities and your unique experiences and your unique perceptions of what life could be like, and this is why your authentic expression is the best thing that you can give to the world. Whether you feel like expressing in a different entity today and it's completely different from 3 years later, that's up to you. But as long as in the moment and in that season, you are choosing the best possible expression that you can be for that season. I've talked a lot. But what I really wanted you to hear today is that, yes, you have multiple personalities. There are so many versions of you that are fighting for your attention. Now you have to apply wisdom and discernment to decide which of your personality is going to win the day, which of your personality is going to win the war for your attention, and which of your personality can chill for a little bit and come back later. So for example, in my life experience, I have waited for a long time to finally really commit to writing and teaching myself how to write better books and better novels. And, I've always wanted to write novels, and I've always thought about it as this thing that I could eventually totally do in my later years when my grays are coming in, I could totally relocate to the bush somewhere, to the mountain somewhere, and just be a writer. And right now, I have sweet vitality. I mean, I'm always going to have vitality, but I have sweet vitality and energy and strong muscle and bones that I can boom, 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 boom all over the stage. So it's a good idea to express that version of me that wants to be a performer in this time while my bones are still, while my bones are still young, So this is some of the ways that you can begin to think of which personalities you want to express the most right now, which personality is going to help you the most. For the past 3-4 years or so, I decided to really focus on my marketing personality and to really pour all my energy into being a marketer and learning digital marketing and learning how to monetize online and learning how to, sell digital products and stuff. And all of that knowledge that I have learned over that time is now helping me as I'm coming back into the fullness of my craft as a performer. And so all things work together for you eventually. It doesn't matter whether you are this thing or that thing or this other thing. As long as when you are being the thing, you are the thing in the moment. And you're not, messing up your attention by trying to be so many different things. I talked so much today, but I hope that it was helpful for you and that you grabbed something and that you finally realize and accept that there is no disorder. You are perfect, you're whole and complete. And yeah, it's okay if you have multiple personalities. Don't be all. What's the point of being bland and being one flavor? You better bring it all because we need the jollof mix of you. We need your jollof to come into this experience because how else can we get this authentic version of you that cannot be duplicated? Baby. I'll see you guys in the next one. My name is Elohor Eva Alordiah. If you've enjoyed this so much, I promise you're going to love every other video that's on my channel. And if you are just like me and you love the idea of monetizing everything that you know, your skills, your experience, your knowledge online and make some money by turning your brain into money online, make sure you check the links in the description down below for my classes and guides to help you. And also subscribe to my monetization newsletter. It is Monetization Report. The link will be linked for you down. The link will be linked for you. I'll leave you the link in the description below. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.